These are the craziest death stories.
He was seriously injured in a work accident and declared dead. Until later, he literally walked out of the morgue. Next, he died of malaria, but woke up inside his coffin.
Wait a minute, is this the same guy? Yes.
A year later, a car crash killed him, but he came back to life, and after a venomous snake bite, he spent 3 days in the morgue before waking up. Then he fell into a deep toilet pit full of toxic waste, but survived again.
Yo, why is this guy dying so much? What is he trying to do? This guy is the luckiest guy.
The villagers believed he was a ghost and set his home on fire to kill him once and for all. But he woke up in the morgue again, defeating death 6 times. Now his neighbors fear him, and he's forced to live alone, all because he cheated death too many times.
Well, good for you, bro. You just cannot die. There's actually no way this person is real. I've heard about this story before. Bro watched ads to revive. Actually, bro has a respawn button IRL. That's totally true. Well, if you thought that story was crazy, wait until you see this one.
He really had to pee at the royal banquet, and his bladder steadily kept filling as he drank more wine. But back then, standing up to pee was seen as extremely rude. So he stayed seated to be polite.
No.
When the dinner finally ended, he rushed to the bathroom, but nothing happened. You see, his bladder swelled up so much that it tore open, flooding his body with pee. He survived in agony for 11 days until his organs shut down one by one.
That was the worst story I've ever heard in my life. If this doesn't make your skin crawl, I don't know what will. But that was so disgusting. Actually, someone died because they held their pee. You should never risk your own safety just to be polite. That's what I'm saying. Just get up and pee. Nothing wrong is gonna happen. What do you think they're gonna do to you? Cut your head open? You died either way, so who cares? Respect to the guy who held it in just to look polite. Well, he died.
He ran around his apartment in virtual reality, but the game didn't map his apartment properly, and as he played, he tripped on a glass table. He landed hard, which shattered it instantly, and dozens of glass shards sliced into his body. With no one there to help, he bled out quickly, and by the time he was found, he had died in both realities.
Oh my goodness. How could you die by playing a VR game? That's so mind-boggling. You gotta be the clumsiest person ever. I know this happens all the time to like old people where they trip or they jump straight into the TV, but to die, that's kind of intense. He had died in both realities. Aura. How's that aura? Bro just said aura for no reason. Guys, I don't know about you, but if you die while playing in VR, you just deserve it. You gotta be so dumb to die while playing in VR. Well, like, these guys deserve their fate. Anything can happen. Obviously, no one deserves to die, but you just gotta be more careful. You also gotta be careful walking down the street because
the poodle fell and hit the head of a 75-year-old woman. Both died instantly, and a crowd gathered around them, spilling out into the street. A passing bus hit a different woman, who died from the injuries, and a nearby man suffered a heart attack from the shock of seeing all 3 deaths. He died on the way to the hospital, making him the 4th victim of the dog's fall.
Wow. Whole lot of dying. What a cursed day. This event was so crazy. The domino effect isn't that bad. The domino effect, wow. The Death Note owner just trying out his power. Bro kept writing names. Yeah, he was like dog, old lady, random guy on the sidewalk. I don't know about you guys, but I'm starting to get a little disturbed by all these death stories. They are creepy, just like the next one.
He slid down the inside of the support pipe after climbing to the top of a water slide in the dark. But it was too narrow for his body to move, and he became trapped inside. He screamed for help until someone finally heard him. Rescuers worked for hours to take apart the slide and reach him, hoping he was alive. But the man had suffocated inside the pipe and died.
Oh, that's gotta be like one of my worst nightmares. So he was stuck in there. He was probably hyperventilating because he was stuck in there, being all claustrophobic. It was probably dark too. Yeah, that's my worst nightmare. Not being able to move your hands. Oh, having a phobia of narrow spaces is not a useless survival instinct. That's what I'm saying. This has to be one of the worst deaths we heard so far. Tip, don't end up in these situations in the first first place.
Yeah, just don't be dumb.
Yeah, like how could this happen to you? Anyways, you know what else could happen to you?
If you drink too much water, the excess will fill up your stomach and get absorbed into your bloodstream. This can eventually cause your brain cells to swell up, which pushes your brain into your skull and increases the pressure. And depending on your size, if you drink around 6 liters of water in a few hours, your brain would swell up so much that you could go into a coma and die.
Gosh, I really hope no one tested this thing out. But actually, I've heard about a case of a lady dying because she drank too much water. So it is definitely possible. Guys, just limit yourselves to 3 liters a day. That's all you need. Actually, even 2. How did you die? My brain was too big. Yeah, but that doesn't mean you're smart. Too little water, headache. Too much water, headache. Not subscribing to Vlad and Chris, heartache to me. And while you're down there, just make sure you like this video and also hype it up.
A torpedo was hidden in the corpse's armpit as they were buried, and when a grave robber opened the coffin, it would trigger a tripwire inside. This released a firing pin, and as the gunpowder ignited, the explosion blasted metal balls straight into the thief's face.
Wow.
This would kill them instantly, and it acted as a warning to others. Leave the dead in peace or become one of them.
Wow.
Whose dead body was that? It's either a president's dead body, because I've never seen that, but wow.
There are out there grave robbers. Why would people rob graves? Because they could get something out of it and sell it. Either the tuxedo, either the coffin.
That's crazy.
They could just take it. So yeah, this has to be like one of the craziest deaths. You're trying to rob a dead person and then you die.
You get what you deserve.
She had a seizure and died, and her funeral was held the next day. But her sister arrived late and begged to see her one last time. So they dug up the coffin for a final goodbye. But when they opened the lid, the corpse sat up and smiled. The minister screamed and fell into the grave, and her family ran, convinced she was a ghost. But they quickly realized the doctor was wrong. She wasn't dead after all, and she lived 47 more years before dying for real.
Oh my, no way this is real.
That's crazy.
So this lady just woke up at her own funeral and actually managed to live 47 more years after this.
You could say her sister being late actually saved her life, because they literally had to dig up her grave. Wow.
Her sister was definitely indeed her guardian angel.
Now let's see the guy who cheated death 7 times.
His train crashed into a freezing river, but he survived and claimed that he was the luckiest man in the world. The next year, he was in a plane crash and 19 people died, but he managed to land in a haystack, surviving again.
How is that even possible?
Bro is the luckiest man on the world.
Wait for it.
Later, he was in a bus crash, a car explosion, and 3 more serious accidents. And after surviving disaster after disaster, he ended up buying a lottery ticket and winning.
No way! His life is actually the craziest story ever. The Lord is immaculate.
How much money did he win?
It doesn't say, but to go through all these crazy events, you really are a main character.
He won $1 million in 2003. W's Frano Selak.
The boat struck at full speed, knocking the woman underwater. You see, she was in the water with her sons in a swimming area, but one boat had ignored the rules and was racing through the restricted waters.
No.
She saw it coming and had only seconds to react. She pushed her son out of the way, saving his life. But there was no time to save herself, and the famous musician was killed instantly.
Wow.
Well, this is just tragic.
That's so sad. But at least she managed to save her own son. That boat driver should be in prison. Who goes into a non-boat area? That's what I'm saying. Now I'm actually wondering, how many years did the guy that killed her get?
2 years and 10 months.
What? Bro, he literally took someone else's life. How is this even possible?
But he never served any jail time. Instead, he paid a fine of 61 pounds to not serve time.
What do you mean 61 pounds? That's like a dinner. Sounds to me like he had friends in high places. He was probably running drugs with that boat. Yeah, it's some really weird stuff happening.
They decided to throw rocks for fun, sending them tumbling down the cliff. But what they didn't realize was that an experienced climber was climbing below. He was nearing the top when one of the rocks, about the size of a bowling ball, struck him directly on the head. His climbing partner helplessly tried to save him, but knew that there was nothing he could do. The hiker who threw the rock later confessed, but despite the tragic mistake, no charges were filed.
What? Bro, it's so crazy to me that some people literally just get away with murder. The guy lost his life, the friend lost his companion, the thrower will forever live with trauma.
That is true.
And no consequences on top of that.
R.I.P.
If you cut off a dead person's finger, you might think you could use it to unlock their phone, but the sensor actually checks for the body's natural electricity, and this stops when a person dies, making the finger useless. Now, if you tried to use the corpse's face to unlock it, the sensor would look for slight movements to make sure it's a real living person, but it would quickly notice that they're dead and you'd still be locked out.
Wait, so with this in mind, it doesn't work to unlock someone's phone by showing a picture of their face?
No, it doesn't work.
So it doesn't work because it's looking for movement. Interesting.
Her scarf got caught in a conveyor belt where she was working. The powerful motor got a hold of her hair and pulled her head into the mechanism, and there was no switch near the machine for her to stop the conveyor belt herself. Coworkers heard her yell and ran to stop the machine, but there were too many tubs in the way and they couldn't reach her in time.
No.
The mechanism was so strong that it cut her throat and she was decapitated.
Jesus Christ.
That's the worst thing ever. Wow, no emergency button is an insane design flaw. So bad. These factory videos of people dying are the worst.
Could you imagine being those workers? They probably had nightmares forever. That is true.
Yeah, they are traumatized for life. Well, rest in peace. If you guys want to watch one more video, just click on the screen right now.